January 23rd, 2016. Guys, this is a very important update. Please share the information because it's very important for this entire nation. But the governor in Oregon, where we're seeing the standoff, who is a Democratic friend of Hillary Clinton, has ordered the FBI in there, or has allowed them in there and said to shut it down. 200 plus vehicles have rolled into Harney County today. Additional FBI vehicles. Remember, they had set up at the small airport outside of town. So I'm afraid that this governor is going to push this to a massacre or a very bad scene, something we haven't seen since possibly Waco, Texas, if you remember that. Now, what gets really bad about this whole situation is Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation have been exposed as being behind this whole push. And we know Harry Reid's involved, but here's what the article's saying. The Clinton Foundation took massive payoffs. They promised the Hammond Ranch and other publicly owned lands to Russia, along with 1/5 of our uranium ore. They're calling her, in the article, the whore of Babylon is shredding the Constitution and exposed as an ultimate backer of a massive U.S. land grab. That's going to make a very nice president that would sell our country like this to pocket money. Sell out your own country. That's evil. And it just goes to show you, again, what we're dealing with. But they're saying, as it turns out, there's a lot more to the story behind the Malheur Wildlife Refuge, a whole lot more, and this article is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. Now, you're looking at a map from the USGS, and tax dollars got this scanned and paid for, and these lands surveyed, and all of this information put together, and that's what it's about. It's saying that after further investigation, more of the pieces of the puzzle have been put in place, and it all points back to the notorious Clinton crime family. Hillary and her foundation are implicated in the dastardly scheme along with the Russian State Nuclear Energy Corporation, Rosatom, and a few dubious Canadian elite. And this is where the news really gets bad. It says Rosatom, the Russian company, is ranked number 2 globally in uranium reserves and number 1 globally for annual uranium extraction. The sheer power, strength, and size of the corporation is undeniable. Rosatom is a major player in today's power world and didn't become that way for no reason. It said Rosatom started expanding their operations into America and needed a way to do it. So in 2013, Rosatom acquired a Canadian company named Uranium One as part of a sinister side deal which involved multiple parties. Ultimately, the deal opened a typically secure and closed door, thus allowing the Russians to get their way into the continental United States as part of a vast and extensive plan to mine uranium ore out of states like Wyoming and Oregon. The deal was essentially brokered by Hillary and was run through the Clinton Foundation using Canadian-backed contributions as a cover with one swoop of a pen. She sold out the American people and 1/5 of America's uranium resources to the Russians. It says 2 reporters in 2015 came out. They didn't get far with the report. It says at the heart of the tale are several men, leaders of the Canadian mining industry, who have been major donors to the charitable endeavors of former President Bill Clinton and his family. Guys, check out the Clinton Foundation and what a small percentage actually goes to any charity. Members of that group built, financed, and eventually sold off to Russia the company that would become known as Uranium One. It says beyond mines in Kazakhstan, they're among the most lucrative in the world. These mines that we have, this uranium deposits here, Hillary sold them. The Russians are going to mine them and sell them back to us for our nuclear power plants. They're the major extractor. It says, as the Russians gradually assume control of Uranium One in 3 separate transactions from 2009 to 2013, Canadian records show a flow of cash made its way to the Clinton Foundation of $2.35 million in 4 donations. Those contributions were not publicly disclosed by the Clintons, despite an agreement between Miss Clinton and the deal struck with the Obama White House to publicly identify all donors. Other people with ties to the company made donations as well. Listen, at that time, there was a Russian investment bank with links to the Kremlin that was promoting the Uranium One stock. They flew Clinton in there. Bill gave him $500,000 to throw a speech there. That was to cover up for the donation. At the time, both Rosatom and the U.S. government made promises intended to ease concerns about ceding control of the company's assets to the Russians. All promises were broken. After that, Uranium One has started buying up companies here now. In 4 western states, they bought energy metal corporations and uranium holdings in Wyoming, Texas, and Utah. And they got the uranium mill in Utah with 38,000 acres. The deal made clear that Uranium One was intent on becoming a powerhouse in the United States uranium sector, with the potential to become the domestic supplier of choice for U.S. utilities. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you, Bill. You got my vote. Someone send this to Donald Trump. He will tear it to pieces. Hillary she will be shamed out of the country. She should be in prison. Her and Bill. Now, why I'm asking again to make this video viral, guys, is because the Oregon Governor, Kate Brown, has stepped in. Remember, 200 plus FBI vehicles have rolled in there today, calling for a swift resolution to the armed occupation of the Malheur Wildlife Refuge. She's a Democratic shield for Hillary. You know, guys, it's almost impossible to watch the Democrats talk about the elections or anything else now. You can't believe anything. They will make up lies. It's unbelievable. It's saying Oregon Governor Kate Brown again is criminally assisting the Hillary and the Clinton Foundation with their master plan to sell out every last bit of America's public lands to foreign entities. Guys, make this viral. Make sure that people that are there can have access to this video. If you have links to get it there to them, it's very important. If you have the ability to get this to a news source or radio source in that area, it would be very helpful. Of course, most of the news sources in that area are very one-sided. They're paid off. Most of the media now, mainstream, was set in place and bought to cover up the lies of what's going on in this world now. But guys, the people there at Malheur, Ammon Bundy, and that group are in trouble, I'm afraid. The more public awareness of the situation could stop a slaughter and a massacre. This is a heads up. Be safe.